right, well, it's time now for a bit of fashion. Let's dive into it, shall we? Because Miami Swim Week, the world's biggest swimwear trade event, has just kicked off in Florida. Among the 2,500 brands on show is a large contingent of Australian names.
Well, they're part of an explosion of new swimwear brands to launch in Australia. Fashion journalist Patty Huntington is here to take us through what's hot and what's not in swimwear and other fashion news. Patty, welcome.
Good morning.
I'm finding this discussion is very counterintuitive at this time of year.
It is. It's hard.
We should be talking woolly wear. Mind you, if you're in the north of the country, it's probably applicable.
It's a heat wave. That's right. It's always sort of summer all year round, isn't it? Yes. So it's the biggest sort of swimwear sort of meet-up in the world, Miami Swim Week, which has a number of events. And look, as per usual, there's a large contingent of Australians. And in fact, Australian brands are becoming sort of more and more high profile. So with Sea Folly, which is a veteran brand which was launched in 1975 and now owned by the world's biggest luxury conglomerate, I mean, they merged with a Colombian brand earlier in the year, and with a view to creating a $500 million beach lifestyle sales platform within the next 5 years. And the CEO of El Asia, which owns Sea Folly, told me that it's got sales of over $100 million. It's now regarded as the world's biggest beach lifestyle brand, which is incredible when you consider that we have a population of 24 million.
That is fantastic. And of course, swimwear is in fact bucking the trend, isn't it, when it comes to fashion sales? And for Australia to have a portion of that, I mean, that's quite impressive, really.
Well, it is. I mean, obviously, people don't find it any surprise that Australians do great swimwear because it's part of our DNA, as we say in the fashion business, and we're surrounded by water. But yeah, I mean, look, it's predicted to grow to $20 billion in the next 5 years globally, and even in the United States, which is really struggling, sort of where fashion retail is really struggling, swimwear sales grew 10% over the past 12 months. So look, it's being fueled around the world by sort of the increase of interest in water sports, in swimming pools, and also in Asia, which is not traditionally a sort of a place where sort of people swim a lot. I mean, obviously they do, but I mean, it's being adopted a lot more. So.
Okay, so we like swimwear, that's a given.
Yeah.
What about the styles, though? What's on show and what are we going for?
Well, look, there's a mix of things. There's always like a wide variety of sort of silhouettes, one pieces, tiny little triangle. Look, but the biggest trend at the moment, without doubt, is the thong or the Brazilian cut. Now,
should we warn viewers right now?
It's very, very brief out there.
It is very brief, and it's not for the faint-hearted because, I mean, look, this is a style that was invented in the 1970s by an American designer, Brigitte Macron. It was adopted, in Brazil. It was I think it was called dental floss in Brazil. I mean, we're showing the sort of the fronts of the suits here, but it's really taken off. And of course, Instagram and celebrities on Instagram have played a very big role. And everyone at the moment, from J-Lo to Jessica Simpson, and of course the Kardashian clan, are sort of flaunting their derrieres because it completely exposes the buttocks. And look, we're reading stories about, if you don't already have a high cut sort of bikini thong, you're just pulling up your swimsuit to give yourself
a good old wedgie.
A DIY wedgie. And interestingly, an Australian brand, a new Australian brand called Myer Swim from the Gold Coast, by I think she's a 27-year-old designer called Bianca Eloise. Here she is. She's become her own best model. And now is she paying the paparazzi like a lot of celebrities? Here she is at the beach. She's a curvy girl, and she designed it sort of for curvy girls, and greatly inspired by the high-cut swimsuits that Elle Macpherson used to wear in the 80s and 90s. So I mean, she's sort of leading the charge because lots of celebrities are being photographed in her thongs.
It's a bit ageist though, isn't it, really, Patty? I mean, let's consider, what age are you going to be to wear a thong?
Well, I mean, interesting that you should say that. Nicole Kidman, I mean, it's not a thong, but Nicole Kidman has just appeared on the front cover of Love magazine in the US in a red swimsuit, and much was made of the fact that she's 50 years old. But look, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, it's a lot of young girls. Here's Myer Swim at Miami Swim Week last year. I mean, I think it's been edited. You don't actually sort of see the backs, but certainly every single one of those swimsuits is a thong at the back. So I guess it's how comfortable you feel. I mean, Bianca Eloise is not a skinny girl. I mean, and in fact, if you put a swimsuit like that, looks much better on a larger woman because it's someone who's more voluptuous.
Dare I ask, are the blokes catered for here? Short of the guys that are actually on on the boats who have to do the wedgie, you know, when they're actually
surf
rowing.
boats, yeah.
It's only a matter of time before we start seeing lots of it. I mean, at the moment, I mean, of course, you know, guys wear thongs, but I mean, I'm sure it's probably going to take off. I mean, it's been bubbling for a while, but the American sort of the Northern Hemisphere newspapers are sort of talking about the fact that it's probably the biggest trend this summer. And look, it was already here, and whatever's on Instagram is going to be everywhere else. So. Only a matter of time.
Let's pick up on that issue of Nicole Kidman and the talk that was made about her appearance on the cover of the magazine in a swimsuit age 50. Is there a sense that the age barrier is no longer there?
Well, it is. It's stretching out. And I mean, I think, you know, Nicole Kidman obviously knows. I mean, she's a Hollywood player. She knows. I mean, after the age of 40, you know, some would say even 30, I mean, the roles change. But a lot was made of the fact that, you know, should she be wearing a swimsuit on the... But she looks fantastic, so why shouldn't she? Interestingly, we're sort of seeing a lot more sort of older fashion icons emerge at the moment.
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion has become the toast of the fashion world. I mean...
although that's questionable. What is she wearing?
She's 49, and of course, you know, she's a very well-known name, so she already had that going for her. But look, she's got a new stylist who's one of the new sort of power pack in the styling, and she's sort of best friends with Anna Wintour. She's been shooting I believe, a cover shoot in Paris during the haute couture shows, and every day she emerged in a sort of increasingly outlandish outfits, and she was mobbed by, she's surrounded by fans, mobbed by them, and I mean, you know, she's become in this particular outfit, people have hailed her as a style icon, but you might recall back in 1999 where she wore, we've got a photo of her in the backward tuxedo, which has been sort of almost universally hailed as one of the greatest red carpet disasters of all time, but she was ahead of her time.
And no surprise that the French leader's wife is a fashion icon, well, much admired by President Trump, of course.
Exactly, put in very crude terms by that she looks great for her age, which was just terrible. But I mean, you know, she obviously she's 64, and she's wearing skinny jeans, sneakers, leather pants, and she's got a very sort of big penchant for miniskirts, which, you know, some people are sort of saying is fantastic. It shows that there's sort of no age limit. Others are saying, should she be wearing that? I mean, if you compare her to Melania, who's only 47, I mean, she's making a concerted effort to, you know, channel Jackie Kennedy, who was actually 31 when she was First Lady, and wearing very conservative lengths. So it's interesting times.
It is interesting times. Interesting times as well for Myer.
Myer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not going so well though there, is it?
No, I mean it's you know, its fortunes have been sort of broadcast over the past couple of weeks. I mean, first of all, there was the Katy Perry sort of disaster with the animal rights activists, but of course it's not immune to the.
Sorry, you better explain that, because she's promoting the brand, isn't she?
Myer is sponsoring her tour, and she did an advertisement where she sort of encouraged her dog to chase some koalas, and that sort of riled animal rights activists, and they had to sort of adapt it. But of course now, I mean, you know, this week Myer issued a sort of a profit downgrade, you know, is writing off its stake in Topshop Top Man in Australia, because, you know, that went into administration in May. I mean, look, you know, it actually last year, I mean, 74%, there was a 74% increase in omni-channel, so its online stuff was doing great. Its concession sales, which included Top Man, was up 21%. But look, the issue with Topshop and Top Man is that it was operated under a licence, unlike H&M and Zara and Uniqlo, which are the parent companies operating them, and they've been completely vertical. So they're not really, it's fast fashion, but they're not getting the latest, they're not the latest sort of stuff. And I think, you know, if you're going to be in the fast fashion business, you really have to be fast, and you have to have, you know, it has to be as good as it is everywhere else in the world. Well,
I mean, we've spoken before about the demise of the department store, and the troubles that Myer has. I guess, you know, David Jones repositioned themselves of more upper class, I guess.
And they're having difficulties too.
Higher brand. They're having difficulties. Is it who Myer are competing against? And of course, you've got the rise of Amazon and those other labels. Yeah.
Amazon's well, look, you know, as we've said many times in these discussions, you can't just, it's not just about stuff on racks anymore. You have to have a really exciting experience for it. Myer's in the middle of a, you know, $600 million turnaround, new Myer, you know, turnaround plan, and obviously it's continual sort of terrible news. I mean, the new CEO, even though he's 2IC, has stepped down. He's saying we're sticking to it. We're going to sort of ride it out. And as I said, last year they had some encouraging things. So So, I mean, they really have to be very exciting and appealing. And I've got to say, you know, part of the thing about Topshop and Topman was it's inside Myer, and Myer hasn't yet transformed its physical sort of retail spaces to be exciting. And there's just a huge amount of competition. So the consumers haven't stopped shopping, as we've said many times. I mean, the luxury brands, some of them are having, you know, double digits, some of them triple digits. And the fast fashion people that are vertically operated are doing really well. It's the people who've been in the market for a really long time that were very slow to change that are having difficulties.
All right, Patty, can't let you go without commenting on what you're wearing. You're bringing a bit of spring to us this morning. It's fantastic.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Patty. Always great to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you.